All right, let's talk Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Archaeologist Indiana Jones races against time to retrieve a legendary artifact that can change the course of history. This movie has a 68% critic score and 88% audience score. It's 2 hours and 24 minutes. Me, Mike, and Aiden watched it. Now, Mike, I want to ask you first. You've never seen any of the other ones, right?
No, I know for a fact I've seen at least one of them. I don't like.
You
They're
don't know
not
which
like
one, though?
no, they're not like a huge part of my childhood. But I have like a general basis of what happens for the most part for things. But I don't really get all the callbacks and stuff like that if there are that many.
Okay. Yeah, I recently just rewatched all four. I saw the first three when I was probably like 8 or 9, and I only saw them one time, so I didn't remember them too much. So I rewatched them all, and I had never seen the fourth one, the one that came out in 2008, Crystal Skull. But I watched it. I know a lot of people weren't a fan of the fourth one, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I liked it. So, yeah, I don't know. I definitely liked it probably. I think I like this one more, maybe. I don't know. It's tough. I don't know. Aiden, what did you think?
Yeah. So I mean, like they said, we just got done watching it. Um, I don't know. I mean, I didn't personally feel like this was an Indiana Jones movie compared to the other four. The only thing that I mean, I don't really know how to describe it, but I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, and anyone who's seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you watch the original
let me
ones,
let me take the helm really quick before you go into your spiel. This is just another Disney money fucking grab, and it feels like every other fucking film within Disney. And honestly, I'm starting to get pissed off. Okay, this bullshit is happening where they're just getting this monopoly and all these great franchises and just remaking shit and adding onto great trilogies and great movies and great storylines, and they're fucking ruining them, and they're tainting the legacy with the bullshit they're putting out because they want to make a little audience just laugh a little bit, but have a shitty ass plot and a shitty ass de-aged CGI Harrison Ford, and it's pissing me off, man.
Wow.
Go on,
And you don't like fan service?
I do like fan service, but not at the cost of a good movie or a good watch. Like, it doesn't mean shit. Like, yeah, you can have the world's biggest cameos, but if the movie sucked, then it doesn't matter. Doctor Strange, there's a prime example.
so no. The other thing that I'm really surprised that once Disney took over Lucasfilm,
Yeah.
that they still put swastikas in this movie. I thought that they weren't going to include them at all. Just knowing Disney, you know?
Yeah.
Because they were in the originals, but I just thought that they would, like, go around it, I guess you could say. I thought Disney was going to try to shy away from that. But, I mean, it makes the story better. Either way. But I think the de-aging of Harrison Ford actually looked pretty good. There were a few moments where, like, there was a few scenes where you could definitely tell. And I mean, obviously, like, it's so different nowadays because you could get a movie from 10, 15, 20 years ago and they'll do a flashback scene and it's just them younger. They don't de-age them. They don't announce it. Like, it's just
Yeah.
it's part of the storytelling. But nowadays, like, we have Twitter, Instagram, all that, and people nitpick that shit because it's like, OMG, they got a de-age scene of Harrison Ford. How's it going to look? And then people are going to judge the entire movie off of that scene alone. That opens up the entire movie.
Yeah, so I think the de-aging scene, I like the beginning of the movie a lot. I think it's actually my favorite part of the movie, or at least one of them.
What does that say about the movie?
Yeah, well, I thought because Aiden's right. A lot of people are complaining about the de-aging. The thing is I thought it looked really good. But I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. I heard like Harrison Ford's voice, and he sounds like an old man. Like I mean, the guy's
100%.
80 years old in real life, so it's like
Is he? So when he woke up, like the first time you seen him in the movie when he was his old true self, he looked old as fuck, and I was like, "How old is he?" And is he actually 80?
Yeah, he's 80 years old,
Oh
insane.
my god!
and now he's about to be in like 2 Marvel movies, and
I pray to
I don't
God
know.
he fucking stays alive, man. I'm not even trying to be an asshole, but seriously, dude, that's crazy.
no, but this dude is climbing in this movie. He's throwing punches.
Yeah.
He looked good.
He did. He did a good job. And I thought, like, at the first couple scenes when we see him in his, like, present age, I guess he was kind of skeptical because I guess the movies take place so far back in time, and
Yeah.
like there's no time travel at the beginning. Even when you see him at his normal like age, you know, the present, and
Yeah, 1969.
yeah, and it's still super like old, and I wasn't expecting that. For some reason, I
Yeah.
thought that it was going to be, you know, kind of like present day or just a few years back, maybe like 1980 or something like that. You know, I'm not sure exactly what year this movie takes place,
Well,
but
so
no,
this one's 1969, and then the last movie, Crystal Skull, that we saw him in, was 1957. So it's about, give or take,
yeah,
almost 13, 14, 15 years ago, give or take. So
yeah.
So you don't think the difference in what he looks like and that compared to this movie is a little drastic for how big the time jump is for the movies?
well, he's a
Yeah.
little gray in this movie. Crystal Skull it came out in 2008, so it
Yeah.
kind of correlates with what it was in real life and time past. But yeah,
He
he's a
was
little
great,
gray,
but
but
he
he's not
looked.
as old.
No, he definitely wasn't as old. Like everyone knew watching Crystal Skull, like this is the last time we'll see Indiana Jones, and then what?
Got
Fucking
this.
how many years later we see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and two, we can talk about how they kind of killed Shia LaBeouf's character off, which
Yeah,
I
that
guess
was
I
funny.
understand, but like, couldn't you just say, at this point, Shia LaBeouf's character would be in his 30s. You could say he lives in Missouri with a family, or
Or you could have
Texas,
said that he
whatever
just
it
doesn't
is.
talk to him anymore.
Yeah, or doesn't
But even
talk
bringing
to
him up, like they have to bring him up for the story, like obviously. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like once they hinted at him at the beginning, I'm like, all right, now they have to like either show him or say more about him because they just had a brief little like sentence like my son's dead and my wife's lost everything, or I don't know.
He lost
And I was
everything
like,
because of his marriage. Yeah.
yeah,
I get what
and
you're
then I
saying.
was like, damn.
But two, honestly, I think they could have recasted him even because he's a teenager
Yeah.
in Crystal Skull, and now, like I said, he'd be in his 30s. You could say,
Yeah, 15 years later.
yeah, you could do a different actor that somewhat looks like him, I think, and pass it.
But I think they did a good job. Like, obviously, that he went off to war and he died. I think like that's as easy as it can get.
Yeah, but Aiden wasn't in Crystal Skull. He was a greaser, like he was against the
He
cause,
was a
like you know what I mean,
yeah.
like
That's why
that character
it caught
wouldn't
me
go.
by surprise.
Yeah, and he wasn't like drafted. He enrolled. He chose to go. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like that didn't feel like the character to me. I don't know.
But
I
they
thought that
also
was
said
an
that
interesting
did he do it on
aspect.
purpose? And he's like, no, he did it out of spite or whatever.
And he did it
Yeah.
to spite his dad.
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah.
So
No. But yeah, let's talk the first kind of we want
Well,
to break it up and
yeah, I kind of just want to start off. I mean, we already started with the de-aging scene where we see him back in World War II, like going
1942.
yeah, basically undercover as a Nazi, trying to. All he wants to do is just steal art or artifacts and stuff like that. You know, he wants to put it all in a museum. He doesn't want to sell them. Who knows? The Nazis found the blade that whatever officer drew blood on Jesus, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then they both look at it. I love the cuts. Because they always do that in all the other movies. Like, well, someone would answer someone else's question, and he's like,
Yeah.
"It's a fake." So I was like, "Damn," or it's a replica. But I mean, I definitely feel like this movie's a slow burn. Like even from the beginning, you know.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't want to just go into it because that's more of like a review. But no, I mean, we do get to see that. I love how, he's going undercover and he's literally going against the entire German army, basically, just by himself on that one train alone. He's going car by car. And I don't know that actor's name that's in Marvel too.
Oh,
Marvel.
Toby
villain?
Jones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Toby Jones is Shaw. And I thought that his character was funny too. And then I don't want to jump the gun. I'm not good at kind of breaking this down because I'll go right to the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, to talk about the train scene, I thought that was really cool. Like I said, it's one of my favorite parts of the movie. It felt like, and Aiden, you'll know this better, it felt like the OG trilogy to me. Like that whole part of the movie, and I think that's why I
100%.
liked it so much.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that they had a good start. And I feel like it was, I mean, it's not, like I keep saying, it's not an awful movie. But like Mike said, it's definitely a money grab. There was no reason for them to have another one. Especially, I'm surprised Harrison Ford agreed to do it. I mean, they obviously had to give him a bag.
Too, and this movie cost $300 million to make too.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me, bro, because that shit is not worth 300 million. Like, I know I'm shitting on this movie, and I'll say this up front. Like, it's a fan service, I'm sure. Like, you know, just seeing kind of like people talk about it, like there's a little nostalgia around it. Like, it's cool, and the concept honestly was really good. I actually thoroughly enjoyed the concept of it. I just wish that we'll talk about it at the end, kind of just with one of my griefs with how they did the ending. But I don't know, man. It's just like it wasn't that good. Like, it should have been more than what it was for 300 million.
Well, we're used to Spielberg
We got to think of
directing
the
these
sites
too.
that they visited. They went like almost around the entire Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're used to Spielberg directing these. He was an executive producer, but James Mangold did this. He did Ford versus Ferrari. He did Logan. He did The Wolverine. So he's done good movies, obviously.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
That makes sense now that country fuck was in Logan.
Yeah,
He was
in
in
Logan,
this too.
yeah, and he's in this. Yeah.
So my thing is, real quick, I'm kind of just gonna go all over the place. One, I didn't understand who was fighting against who. The Nazis and that like FBI chick, the girl.
Yeah,
They
secret
never
agent.
explained like what she was.
So, Aiden, I'll break this down to you really quick. She was CIA, and
Yeah.
then everybody else were Nazis, and that's all it is.
But they,
Well,
she,
so-
they were,
and they
under
were
her
working.
nose.
They were working together against fucking Helena
Like
and
Operation Paperclip, basically, and they just
Yeah.
had no idea that they were Nazis.
Yeah, they didn't know.
Yeah.
So they were just
Yeah.
they're all being, they're all CIA technically, but they were sleeper agents for
Okay.
the Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That makes
yeah.
sense. But I feel like they didn't like tell someone like. Obviously, this isn't like. I mean, Indiana Jones movies, like kids go and see these. Like, you gotta have like some kind of like dumb, way of just giving that shit out. Making the story easier to
Hey,
follow.
so basically, you wanted a kid's breakdown of how things are going, is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
So
It's
no,
not a
this ain't-
fucking R-rated
I-
movie.
Where's the
I
spark
like-
notes? Where's the spark notes?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe I was just like I said. I almost fell asleep a few times, but
I like the Mason character though. I almost wanted her to team up with Indiana Jones instead of Helena,
yeah,
just because she had more of a motive too. These guys are killing people. They're secretly Nazis. Like, I'm the CIA. I need to stop this. I'm going to work with Indiana Jones. I thought that would have been cooler. What did you guys think of the Helena character?
She pissed me.
We're introduced to her from a character we've never met. I guess that he's best friends with. We've never met this guy.
yeah. And then
He's never mentioned.
Yeah,
They're best friends. He's a godfather to this girl who
Yeah.
we've never heard of either. What did you guys think of her? I wasn't a fan of the character, honestly.
I wasn't a fan of her until the very end scene that we'll get into. I think that she did a good job in the the conclusion of the movie. But other than that, I mean, she was like right when she comes on screen, you just don't understand. You think that she's working with them, and then you realize that she's got a whole different backstory and like background of what she does. And her Indiana Jones has no idea, and he literally collects all these artifacts or steals them basically, and like it's just under his nose. It's under everyone's nose,
Well,
and you don't expect that at all.
and I want you to remember though, like that's the point of it. I agree with you. The execution of her character
100%.
being mysterious and under everybody's nose, like it was a little rough and a little off. But I think for the most part, like what her character was supposed to set out to do for this story and what her arc was supposed to be, I think that it does a good enough job. But it wasn't. It could have been a lot better the way she executed her, just the way the story kind of tied her character and just all the different plots together.
Yeah, and I just want to say, too, before we continue through the movie, because I forgot to mention this earlier, Indiana Jones having lost a son and having a wife that they've split up because of the loss of their son is the same exact storyline they gave Han Solo in the new Star Wars movies. Did they not?
Yeah.
I thought about that halfway through the
They
movie. I'm
did.
like, wait. I'm like, poor Harrison Ford, he's doing the same thing for his character. It's these Lucasfilms movies.
So what was that little rant I talked about at first where all these movies are kind of the same and
That's your point.
they're all just money grabs? There's some nostalgia, but in reality it's all the same fucking story and all the same shit.
Yeah, same
I'm
actor,
just saying.
same.
I'm
Studio.
just saying, man. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. What about Teddy? I think Mike liked Teddy a lot.
oh yeah, man. He's my dog, man. He's
It was just a random ass like
I don't
Close
know.
your
man.
eyes and pick random ass characters out of a hat, and like that's what it is. I mean, you got to think like
He looks, dude.
He
in
was
the
like,
other Indiana
fucking-
Jones movies,
You
like
know what
you
he kind of
get-
looks like? Kind of looks like Dawson from Stranger Things.
Oh, okay. I can see
you
Does-
that.
could
does he
say
not?
Raji.
Oh, there, right? Fucking
Well,
dude. He looks like
No, I
Anthony
mean-
Davis with the unibrow.
No, you got to think like Temple of Doom has Tuk Tuk or not Tuk Tuk, Short Round.
Short round. Yeah.
And then what's the other one? Fuck.
Yeah, and Short Round was the same story because Indy caught him trying to steal from him,
Yeah.
and then ended up
So
taking
that's
him
why,
in.
and then I expect at the end. I mean, sorry to jump around. I honestly don't care.
No, it's okay.
But when I watched the original trailer for this movie, I'm like, dude, they're literally gonna kill off Harrison Ford, and then they're gonna make Indiana Jones a girl. And then, like,
Honestly,
then-
that's where I thought like this
then
was
you
going
know,
the second.
then you know that this
Kalina
is
was
literally
introduced.
going to be like the worst reboot of all time. And
All right, bro.
Luckily,
You know, what do you
luckily-
mean? What do you mean by that? What do you
'Cause
mean by that?
why do you even have to touch what's already made? It's already fine. It's completely fine the way it is. Like,
But
I
the
mean,
way
it's
you
cool that we
said
get
it.
it. I don't
Yeah, but
care that she's a
didn't
girl.
it didn't end up happening. He didn't.
No,
get
No,
it
I
in
know
the hat
that's
or
what I'm
anything.
saying, but I'm just saying, like, rebooting. Like, just think of like Ghostbusters, for example. Like, why touch gold? It's already there. Like, it's like fucking don't touch the dead or whatever the fuck they say. I don't know.
You want to know why they touch gold? To make more gold, and that's exactly
No,
what
but, I mean,
what they're supposedly
regardless.
doing. But in reality, they're really not. They're tainting the
It
legacy,
doesn't- yeah.
and they're probably not making as much money as they should be off of something, off the opportunities that they're getting. It's like us growing up in fucking Bloomfield Hills with the fucking parents that are rich and loaded out of their mind and doing shit with it. You know?
Mhm. Yeah, I didn't know this before seeing the movie. I saw it after the fact, but I sent you guys a picture. I'm not sure if you looked at it or not. The artifact, the Dial of Destiny, is based off a real thing in real life. It's an
Okay.
antique that was found. It was made about 2,000 years ago. It's very fragile, though. I guess the way they explained it here is that it's broken into more than 80 pieces as of right now, and it's got the consistency of like a wafer cookie, so it like snaps really easily. But at the time,
So it's like the one that we originally see when he melts the wax, and that's what it kind of looks like.
yeah, but it's probably the most significant technological artifact in the ancient world ever found, which is
Yeah.
insane. Like, it's an actual clock. Like, it's crazy to
Imagine
think
one
of.
of the first clocks ever made.
Yeah, it's the anti-Carythia mechanism. I think that's what it's called in the movie, isn't it?
I have
Anti-Carythia.
to look it up.
I forget what it's called.
So I've never
but
heard
yeah,
of it.
It looks pretty similar too, actually. So it's kind of cool that I had no clue it was a real thing. I just thought it was a made-up artifact for the movie. Obviously, it doesn't allow you to time travel, or maybe it would if it wasn't a wafer cookie. But I think that's still pretty sick. That's based off of something real from 2,000 years ago, like in the movie.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was a cool little thing they added in there.
Yeah, no, I agree. But talking about the first part here, we kind of fighting the Nazis and him and Zemo escaping, or not Zemo. Fuck, who's a fucking
Elena?
No, the robot guy, Toby Jones. What is he in Marvel?
It's Hydra.
The Hydra fucking computer.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the name is, but they escape pretty much. And honestly, dude, you're telling me that train's traveling that fast and they're just running out there? Like,
No, so wait. The funniest shit ever that we didn't
Come
even
on,
mention.
bro.
So I mean, obviously Indiana Jones always gets out of whatever scenario he's in or whatever issue, and any situation. This motherfucker has a noose around his neck.
Yeah,
and he's
bro.
swinging left and
I
right.
was gonna say that, dude.
I'm like, okay, like I understand he grabbed it and they're showing it, but like, dude, there's a whole ass like stone statue falling. Like that thing is going to whip you down so hard that you're not even gonna think that you're dead. It's just gonna happen so fast. Then this dude goes and he's still hanging on. The thing goes down and he somehow slips it off right at the end. And then the other one, which is hilarious, is when they're on the train, like on top, obviously like fighting the last general or officer, whatever he is. and he puts him up against the stone. Dude, you would be so dead.
How does that not fall off?
and Harrison, Indiana Jones is just looking around like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah,
he's just
exactly,
like he's
man.
enjoying the ride or something.
Yeah,
man.
no, but you're in a tunnel, in a stone tunnel, literally mountain, inside of a mountain, and he's just getting fucking straight from his back.
That's the Disney effect,
Dude,
man.
one little thing would just rip him out.
Dude, you know what?
But I'm
The
sorry,
fucking-
I gotta keep going, Mike.
Go on.
There were so many parts. Like, I feel like out of all of the Indiana Jones movies, like, yeah, they're cheesy. Like, in most parts, I feel like the earliest one's the less cheesy, but this one, like, even when the train derails, or like you would think that it would derail, and they come up from the water, and there's no one. Like, you're not seeing train cars falling down and shit. There's nothing blowing up. You look up, and they're not even that high. Like, obviously, they're like maybe not even 100 feet because they wouldn't survive the jump. Maybe 50 feet, whatever.
Probably 50, yeah.
And the entire German army is on those railroads, on the train tracks, and they can't see two guys just walking in the middle of a fucking field, like completely unscathed. Like, hey, look down there. Like, they would have been fucked.
I know.
And then I don't know. I mean, there's just little things like, obviously it's just a thriller, I guess you could call it, an adventure action movie, but like, I mean,
Jumanji,
make it
bud.
make sense.
Yeah.
So really quick though, I don't know why I just thought of this, but the guy that is a doctor, I think Jurgen Wager is his name. Fucking, does he not remind you of a mixture of Cillian Murphy and the guy from Balls of Fury?
Oh, I can see that.
Who's the guy from Balls of Fury, dude? The last boss. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't know the guy's name.
But
That's
he's
funny.
He's a mixture of both, man. That shit. I thought it was like an ageified like Cillian Murphy at first. I was like, holy shit! Like, is he in here actually?
What did you guys think of Mads Mikkelsen's character, the villain, like in the movie?
I thought
How'd
he
you
did a
think
good
he
job.
did? He's
I
been
mean,
a
he
villain
always
in quite a
plays-
few movies.
Yeah, he always plays a villain, and I mean, of course, Disney's just recycling their villains at this point. But I mean, he did a good job. He's in Spectre, James Bond. He's in.
Doctor Strange.
I think he's in Inception too, isn't he?
He's in Fantastic Beasts, right? Oh, he's in Rogue One.
Yep,
I
he's in
remember
Rogue
that.
One.
Hey,
He's
getting fucking getting recycled, man.
damn. Let me see what he's in real quick.
Quantum of the Solace. Oh, that's a video. Oh, he's even in the 007 video game too.
Oh,
He does
maybe he's
the voice
not.
for that,
He's
too.
in, oh no, he's in Spectre. He's in almost all the James Bond movies.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Clash of the Titans,
because they just bring him back.
Kung Fu Panda 3,
Yeah,
Cars. Oh my god, he's him.
he's a
One
good
I've
actor
seen.
for sure. He's
No,
really
he is a
good.
good
He's a good
actor.
villain too.
Oh yeah, I
Yep.
agree.
But no, I mean, yeah, I thought he did a good job. I mean, it's kind of an easy role for him to play because he obviously plays villains all the time. But like this one, I feel like he didn't do anything crazy. Like, he was super smart.
Nothing crazy.
He was a physicist, but he, like, even when he's smart, she's walking around the room like in the dynamite scene. Like, sorry to jump forward, but like, how do they not see the shit that she's doing? She literally pulls a stick of dynamite out and shows him. And like all the 8 people in that one boat can't see her pull it out.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but
No, and,
I mean,
and
I
you
went
know,
off topic.
No, we could talk about his plan too. You know, and not really mention it too much
Yeah.
later on. What did you guys think of his plan, going back in time to kill Hitler and then doing things his own way?
Yeah, I mean, he still would have been a
I don't know.
fascist. He still
Yeah,
would've
it's
been.
interesting to see how that would have worked out, I guess. But
Yeah.
he's like, I know what Hitler did wrong. I'll fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he said he sat on the sidelines and watched Germany lose the war, or Hitler lose the war, not even Germany. And and then even before like all that, before we get the tuk tuk scene, like when we meet all of them inside, when Helena screws over Indy, you see him and he tells the server guy, he's like, "Did you fight?" He's like, "Yeah, I served so and so for this corp," and then he's like, "Yeah, well, are you enjoy your win? Are you enjoying your win or something like that?" He's like, "You didn't win. Hitler lost." It was like, okay.
Yeah, he's asking him where his people's from. Fucking racist piece of
Yeah,
shit.
racist
I thought that was going somewhere completely different, honestly.
yeah, and I was waiting for the guy to like snap on him, but he didn't.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But dude, we gotta do these a little different, man. I think for the most part, kind of going piece by piece sometimes is not as efficient compared to like going just like jumping around.
Yeah, well, we can get to the like water part where they go and get the second, or I guess the map or the
Yeah,
clue as to where the.
Really
let's
quick,
go
let's
to the
talk
part
about
where
the auction.
they mess up the parade.
Oh yeah,
Hang on, they mess up the parade, and he takes a horse down to the subway.
that was
He's
cool.
literally, and then yeah, that's cool. But then you see the guy just come down slowly with the motorcycle. Like, all right, dude, you can run just as fast as you're gonna ride a motorcycle down that thing. And then, obviously, I mean, I don't even know how they. I don't know. I think the stunts were good in this movie. I didn't think that the camera was a little shaky, especially in the opening scene with the train. I forgot to mention that. Like that hand cam. I feel like it was at one point I like blinked and I was like, "Holy fuck!" Like I thought I was getting dizzy. But
It was shaky underwater too.
yeah. Other than that, I think that the stunts from start to finish, I thought they were all decent. I didn't think any of them were too corny, and I mean it's just like a regular Indiana Jones movie.
Mm.
There's definitely a lot of action in this movie. I think Crystal Skull might be up there with it, but this one and Crystal Skull, obviously the two newest ones, have a lot more action than the rest.
Yeah, and talking about the next part of the movie, this movie is long. It's almost 2.5 hours.
Is it the longest one?
Yeah, for sure. All the other
Yeah.
ones are like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Crystal Skull was like the second longest. It's 2 hours and like 4 minutes. This one's 2 hours 24. But I think they could have cut the whole auction part, maybe, or cut the mobster part, like Helena having to owe money.
Yeah.
I get that she is in a tough spot and needs money, but I don't know. You already kind of made her an asshole where she
But they
only cares
also
about money.
Don't
So you
show
didn't
her
really need to do that.
struggles.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
So it's
Like,
like
she's traveling
I feel
around
like that could've got
everywhere.
cut.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the only thing about that auction thing is obviously, I mean, it's also funny how they just kind of teleport to different places.
Dude.
They
Hey,
just
hey,
show up
they go-
randomly at the exact
hey.
same time. If someone's
They're-
already gone, yeah,
They're going
fast traveling
east.
and
Wait,
shit.
they're going west.
Yeah,
They're going.
no.
We're gonna meet them in fucking Sicily. when we
Yeah,
were supposed to
I-
go to the mathematician, whatever the hell,
Yeah.
La La Land. I don't know.
I think that shit's hilarious because she's obviously escapes in New York way before anyone else, and then he
Yeah.
somehow shows up knows exactly where to go, and he meets her up at the auction. And then, I mean, dude, you're going to an auction like at a black market sale, and you think those people sitting at that table are going to be the ones buying the art? No, it looked
No,
like,
no, we didn't even talk about the
it looked
worst.
like a regular ass mom was there.
No, we
like,
didn't talk
and then all
about
other
the
people.
worst part of this fucking movie, dude. It was in the trailer too, where they're at the auction and then that shit hits the fan, and then everybody just points their gun at Harrison
Oh, that's
Ford.
awesome.
When they put their gun at Harrison Ford, and he just ducks
Yeah.
a fucking 100
Yeah.
bullets. you're like, you're shitting me, right? No one's gonna
Well-
point their gun down as soon as he jumps down.
Yeah,
like
but if you
100
watch the other
people
Indiana
there.
Jones movies, he'll go up hand in hand combat with a guy in a knife or a gun, and his whip wins every
still
time.
win.
But
Yeah.
damn near 50 people with the gun straight to him.
But wait, real quick, I gotta mention, how come we got no whip scenes at all in this movie?
We did at the auction
Yeah, that was it.
and at the beginning on the train at the top.
But
yeah.
there were like 2 or 3.
I wanted him to swing on it again.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like he half the time he didn't even have it
I
on
can-
him,
I
and
can
then
swing
other
on
people
it,
had
Josh.
it, but he had 3, like maybe 3 whip scenes total. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to see like Pootie Tang Indiana Jones shit. Like that's what I was waiting for. And I mean, like you
What?
gotta go off. It's like you gotta end with a bang. And that's the other like. It's a money grab, obviously, but you gotta go out with a bang. Especially Harrison Ford. Like he has no say in what he wants to do. He probably just shows up and he's like, "All right, tell me what to do." And then he literally reads his lines and he's like, "All right, see ya." And then he probably
Yeah,
goes
but I
home.
think he cares about the character a lot, though.
He does, and this is probably the only character
Star
that he
Wars
actually cares
probably
about.
phoned in. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is like the only one that he actually gave a shit about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what I mean? Like you got to go out with a bang,
Yeah.
and I feel like we didn't get that.
Yeah.
No, not at all, man. It's if anything, it was a fucking firecracker that you throw on someone's
It's a
porch.
fucking dud.
Yeah, it's a dud. It's it's a little piece of shit.
Yeah, so we get introduced. They go to Ronaldo's boat to go out in the water. We went and saw it with our buddy Dylan. Dylan turns to me, he's like, "Have we met that
Dylan-
character before?" I was like, "No, I don't think so."
Dylan was cracking up the entire time, man.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
was
He
too,
was
man, because I was legit laughing at how bad some of the shit was. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, like I really was. Me and Aiden looked at each other at least 15 times. Like when what's his
No, when he
name?
went underground, I was like, "What is going on, man?"
Yeah, dude.
Like,
But
dude,
when
you think he would go under, do the little jump through the railway, and then go up? And then he did way more than that.
well, no, I know I'm kind of jumping around, man, but this is too funny not to say right now. Is when they're all climbing through that little fucking hole that you have to get up to his tomb, and all of a sudden you're telling me that 7 foot 400 pound dude just gonna fit in that little tiny hole all the way up to where the tomb is? Like everybody just gets there, and we didn't even mention the worst part is when they broke the bridge on the way there, and then as soon as everybody's leaving, the bridge is just magically fucking just remade and redone. Like it's stuff like that, you know.
No, I mean, it
Yes,
was
I don't know if it was
definitely.
supposed to be a different bridge or what, but I don't know. I noticed that too, though, Mike, during the movie.
No, I think that big ass dude, and then the Kleber guy, the Australian, or I think he's just a country redneck. I think those two characters they could have completely cut. I think they were so pointless. I mean, I understand that he's like gung ho, like at the beginning of the movie, and the CIA agent's like, "What are you doing?" They don't even do anything about it. Like that's your red flag right there. That they're just willing to take out anybody, and like CIA doesn't do that. Like, they're not affiliated. They're not causing any harm. Like, I just feel like it was poor writing.
That redneck guy you're talking about, he gave me what's the bullet train characters? Orange and
Lemon.
Who's
Tangerine and Lemon.
Tangerine and Lemon. Who's the guy that's playing Craven? He reminds me of him.
Yeah, Kick Ass.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but Kick Ass.
He reminds me of the guy that's playing Craven that was in Bullet Train, his character.
Yeah, I think that's what they kind of went off of, but I don't know. I just wasn't a fan
it was
of
dog shit.
I wasn't a fan of either of their characters, and I don't even like. It was just so random, and the big dude didn't say a word the entire time. He was just there for like force, just brute, and like I guess the way he dies is good, but other than that, I don't know.
I thought about it earlier in the movie, though. I was like, how's Indiana Jones going to take that dude out? Because he's huge.
And that's what I was hoping for. I wish that Indy would have been able to want to take him out.
And with the whip.
But then, like, I mean, I think back to, like, Crystal Skull. Did we have some good-ass deaths in that? Like, the guy getting sucked up into the propeller. Like, all kind of shit like that, you know? And we don't get any crazy death scenes in this.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, it goes to show you, like, you know, a difference in directing, too.
Well, it's also Disney.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, obviously. But, I mean, I don't know. Just, anybody want to talk about anything else when it comes to the boat scene or the auction? I think the auction chase was...
Even the boat scene could have got cut down a little bit. Like, I was thinking about it after the movie on things that they could have cut. And those are probably the 2 points in the movie where it's, like, kind of coming down a little bit for me, I'd say. I don't know if you guys feel, like, similar to that.
I agree.
But I like the whole parade thing that we mentioned earlier, train. Like, I liked all those aspects of it. So, like, those I really wouldn't want to cut, but I don't know.
It reminds me of, was that Tower Heist with the parade?
Yeah, that's a great movie.
But I mean, also, like, dude, movie. I remember, like, obviously my mom put me on, like, these movies when I was younger, but Raiders of the Lost Ark, like, when that guy burns, like, that's one of the, like, scariest scenes, like, at that point in time. Like, people would go to the movies and they were, like, having nightmares and shit. Like, it was one of the scariest things I've ever seen. And then, like, I don't know, I feel like each Indiana Jones movie has, like, something like that. And I feel like this one just lacked it.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that really, like, was kind of gruesome was the guy that was dead in the plane crash.
Yeah.
You know? And that's about it. But,
even Crystal Skull had the ants ripping that guy apart. Remember, he went up in like his eyes and mouth and everything.
Yeah, it was gruesome.
Oh yeah, no. It was,
and this one didn't have any of that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's scenes like that. I guess the next part would be them going, you know, through the caves, right? We see. I like that Indiana Jones bit where they're climbing up the wall and he's talking about how old he is and how many times he's been shot and everything. I thought that was pretty funny. I mean, I fucking couldn't climb that wall. Back.
Yeah, but I mean, also we got to take in the when they do the shipwreck scene in the eels. Like, obviously, Indiana Jones has a phobia of snakes, and and they didn't even make like a big deal on it. They're like, "Oh, the eels are shaped like snakes," and he was like, "Huh?" And then like, I feel like we should have got some snakes in this movie. We didn't get any snakes.
Hey, and he was definitely getting bit up down there.
Oh, 100%. Those things are going nuts.
Yeah.
And then even the fact that they just go down and we got Antonio Banderas that was in it too, which was sweet. And I remember when I saw him on screen before, I'm like, is that him? And then me and Dylan looked at each other like, then the scene after, I was like, oh, that's definitely him.
Mr. Puss in Boots.
Yeah. Spy Kids, man.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's got a really
but
iconic
I thought
voice.
that was cool. That was sweet that he was in there. I think that the diving scene was pretty cool, knowing that it takes place in the 60s or something like that.
69, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Especially how they went deep, and then out of nowhere you just see boat pull up and two guys underwater too. Did you guys see that part? How are there two guys underwater but they never went up to shore?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because there's three of them going up, and then there's two guys going
that's
swimming
something
down.
that I missed myself, but that just adds on to the shit list, man. Like,
but I mean, it was crazy how the one guy died. He cuts the oxygen line from him.
Yeah.
But then what happens with the other one where he cuts something? She shoots right up to the surface.
Yeah, if you pull the life jacket, it'll throw you up. So that's why I was wondering, why didn't that guy pull his life jacket as soon as especially since he was the closest to the top too.
Yeah, well, he also choked down, which is like a fucking idiot. Like, dude, just hold your breath. Unless
it's a movie. It's romanticized. You guys know that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just us nitpicking that. I liked the when he melted the wax in the wood and found the ancient gold. And I like the scene too where he's like, we're taking it to a museum because that's just his thing. I love that.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk too about him being a professor again. That's always a really cool part of the movies.
Yeah, but the other thing is that in the old ones, obviously he's like a heartthrob for all the girls. Like when he's younger, young Professor Jones, and you also got to think like, is he at that same college?
No, it's
that he was. One. Yeah, because he's only there for a decade. I'm like, dude, this guy's been teaching for fucking 50 years.
Yeah, that's where he makes his money.
Yeah, but
he doesn't sell any of these artifacts he's getting.
But remember, he also got kicked out of the other college, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, he was I think he was the dean or something. He was becoming the dean or something like that.
Yeah.
There, at the end. So I don't know, but yeah, he's at a new place, new university.
Mm-hmm.
I love that part where he gave that guy the gift that they got him, that random dude on the street. That got me to laugh. That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so they're going through the caves to find the second half of the dial. They're right behind him the whole time. They kidnap the kid, right? I like how Indiana Jones is like, he'll be all right. He can fend for himself, which he could.
Yeah.
But a lot of faith in him for a kid he really didn't know too well.
Yeah.
And then we get pretty much the only trap scene, right?
Yeah, which is a fucking
methane.
Yeah, they had the methane.
Which you knew right away.
Was it Dionysius's tomb? Is that where they found it?
Yeah.
Yep. So Dionysius' tomb. They went in Dionysius's ear, and they get up there, and then the only trap scene that we get in this entire movie, in its entirety of 2 hours and 12 minutes, is a methane trap, like guarding the doors to the tomb, and he figures it out in like seconds, obviously.
Yeah, it had no effect to Indy at all.
Yeah, but
I was gonna say, he wasn't even coughing, but Helena was
he's like, don't breathe.
And
she's choking, and he's literally sitting there breathing out of his mouth and not even like cough. Yeah, I don't think he coughed once.
Oh no, he just dialogue too.
He's like, don't breathe. He's like, don't breathe.
Yeah,
he's like,
what? So what's her name? Helena. Helena's running through these caves, going through all the tubes and shit, and I'm like, all right, we literally see Alfred Molina get impaled at the beginning of Raiders, and then you see this, and like she's running. I was like, literally, my eyes. I sat up. I'm like, dude, she's gonna fucking die. I'm like, how are they just gonna kill her like that? But there's not one trap, not one other booby trap, and literally he takes the little golden statue and a big ass fucking stone ball, starts chasing after him, flattening him. But he just walks through this one with ease. No traps throughout the entire cave. Like
I was
like
surprised.
I said, it was more of like a what is it? Not even Da Vinci Code. What's the other one? National Treasure. That's what it felt like. And
Yeah,
it was,
honestly, yeah.
it does, because it's not like
It does.
That's the
Dude,
thing.
National Treasure was way more complicated than that dumbass
I
shit
know,
they
but
fucking
Mike,
did.
you gotta watch the original Indiana Jones movies because you'll honestly love them. This one,
Yeah, they're great.
watching this one,
I remember watching.
yeah, but I'm saying like do a fresh rewatch
Okay.
and like
Okay.
enjoy them. And like, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna go back. I tried to rewatch them all, but I didn't have time, and now I'm gonna go back and I'll be like, damn, like these are so good compared to what I just watched. And that's why, I mean, keep going back and forth. I'm kind of doing my like end spiel right now, but Crystal Skull, I felt like they brought Indiana Jones back, and I'm like, damn, like how could they do that? And then like after watching the original 3, then you see that, and it's like, holy shit, you got people dying, you got people getting eaten by ants, thrown in propellers, you got all this other shit, and then you go from there, and then like it's still a good movie. It feels like an Indiana Jones movie. You
Tanks
watch this
running people
one.
over.
Exactly. And then you watch this
Yeah.
one, like you get a shitty Wellheim scream at the beginning off the train, and then the
Yeah.
rest is like, yeah, I mean, I guess people are getting shot left and right.
Dude, it was
Ran over by cars, getting thrown out of cars and stuff like that, and
It was-
getting blown up. But you don't
You get-
see, like, it didn't feel like an Indiana Jones movie. I'm
Josh,
gonna keep
you can,
saying that.
you can make this an Instagram TikTok clip. I'm gonna say this right now. This fucking movie was the exact same generic fucking plate that they used for the newer Marvel movies, the last trilogy of Star Wars, and this movie, and I'm sure you can probably get a million other movies that they made under Disney. It's the same generic thing. It's awful. It's just getting old at this point.
No.
Yeah.
Well, so the Nazis catch up to them. They get the second part of the dial. Indiana Jones gets shot. What did you guys think of that whole part?
And then
Yeah.
he's just magically alive for a couple hours. He
Well, you got
travels
shot in
back
the
in.
arm.
But no, you got in the shoulder, like right above his heart.
Yeah.
Pretty close to the heart, yeah.
Yeah. But, so, I mean, that's the craziest thing. Like, obviously, you see him get shot, and it's like, all right, now you're expecting him to die. So, like, at the end of the movie, I plan on walking out of there seeing Indiana Jones dead. And, like, we're
Me
obviously
too.
never going to get another movie.
I wish he
But-
would have. I wish he would have
I mean, it's fine that he
stayed.
didn't. But that just means it leaves the door open. Even if he did die, it'd probably be
You
an
grab the hat,
off-screen.
you grab the hat.
It'd be an
Yeah.
off-screen death, and then they would bring him back fucking 30 years later.
Well, no, I'm saying I wish he would have just stayed in fucking Rome.
Yeah. So no. So I mean, we'll get to that part because honestly, that was my absolute favorite part of the entire movie.
Fuck yeah.
And we see him get the dial, and then the other guys pull up in the cave. Of course, anytime something's gonna happen, the fucking bad guys show up seconds later. So I mean,
Guns.
like,
This shit was the cheesiest shit.
I mean,
dude.
like, that happens all
That's
the time.
how they
but,
all are.
But
Yeah,
this
that's how they
one,
all
but
are.
I've never watched a movie where I literally was sitting there like counting down, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they fucking showed up, and I was right every time. And I mean, you just know, and it's like whatever. You just got to get invested in it, and that happens. They go, all right, give me. All everyone's pointing the same guns, and they've been pointing at him all fucking movie. Same people not saying a word, and then he gets the dial. He well, obviously the kid breaks off, kills the big guy, and then
He's sitting on that statue like he's goddamn Black Panther, man. This
that's
is
where I'm
like-
going. And he's not even that high up. If you looked at that aerial cam where it was like above him on the statue and the guy, he literally could have like probably felt his breath on his hair. You'd be like, what the fuck is that? And this guy can grab his ass down. But
Yeah,
he
bro.
jumps on him, he fucks the dial up. I think it switches the setting, right? Or what happens right there?
It just falls to the ground.
Falls to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
because he jumps on the guy with the gun.
Yup. Helena escapes. And then she follows the kid. They go out, and then we kind of get to the runway scene where they're taking
Yeah.
off to go into the portal, which I wasn't a fan of. Like, you only saw it from a distance, you know? You didn't see it up close like some crazy CGI, like
It looked
crazy
cool though.
portal. It looked cool, but we didn't get to see it up close, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, even Crystal Skull, when they go and do the when the thing, like the
Alien.
statue in the Mayan or Aztec, whatever the hell it was,
Yeah.
like statue or monument turns into a fucking alien spaceship. Like, I thought,
Yeah.
like, they show every piece of that. It's like, holy shit, like, what's going on? This one, I feel like that was a huge part, and it was, I hate to fucking say it, man, but every fucking movie we're getting from Disney or anything is all time travel, dude. Give that shit up. Like, they gotta give it up. Every single movie is multiverse, going back in time, shit like that. Like, literally let Back to the Future, all those good ass movies, just be how they are. Like, if you're not
They
gonna do
should have had a
something original,
multiverse, though.
if you're not
Indiana
gonna do
Jones,
something
played
original,
by George Clooney.
like, yeah, all three of them. Like, imagine all Indy, like, from every movie, like showing them, or he like could see, he like went back in time to die all fucked up, because
Yeah.
like, I mean, I don't know, and whatever. And then you just saw a bunch of stuff, but we see that they go to the runway. The kid just fucking. Oh, what kind of runway even was it? What kind of airport was that? Because how come you got regular people and you got Nazis in there? How is it an airport ran by Nazis, but then you got a kid that steals an airplane and that guy's not a Nazi that was sleeping in that plane?
I was thinking the Nazis just went to like they have a private plane in a hangar.
But they were all dressed up in swastikas and uniforms, and then you're like,
that's true.
Then I got confused at least, and I'm like, damn, did they already jump back in time?
Oh,
but then I'm like, no, this is just neo-Nazis like, just going over the fucking, just staying in this one little secluded airport.
I think what they were doing there is just like they went to some like off the grid like airport or just runway.
They had a plane.
They just but they just like overtook like some runway or something. Like it could have been any plane, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, but let's get to the part where they actually go back in time.
Yo.
What was it? It was
Roman
212
Empire.
BC, right?
Was
that what it was?
200 and something BC, yeah.
212, I think, or something like that. No. BC. They were going. They're trying to go back to 1942. They missed it by about 2,000 years, give or take. So, I thought that scene. That's my second favorite scene compared to the beginning. I thought the ending was sweet as fuck. I thought it was really cool. It was giving me like Game of Thrones type vibes. Like it was really cool. Seeing all the ships and stuff.
It was like 300 and all that stuff too.
Yeah. I mean, they're referring to the planes as dragons. And...
Yeah. So no, that part was absolutely sick because you go and you got the villains, Indy, like you got the good guys and the bad guys on this one fucking warplane going into this portal, and they're expecting to go back in time to like, I think he wanted to go to like 1938 or something like that, just before
39.
Yeah, and then they go, they're like, oh, it worked. Like the dials are fucking up, everything. Like you're surprised. Then you got the kid behind him that never even flown a plane before in his life, just fucking takes off and he's flying it. But they go through this portal and then the engines cut. They're going down. They finally restabilize the plane, get the engines going again, and they're all cheering like, "Wow, we did it! We did it!" And they see like, I don't know what it was. It was like Sicily or something that they were at, and and then they go and they see and they're like congratulating each other in German, and then they fucking look at Indiana Jones and the villain are eye to eye next to each other like, what the fuck? And they see all those sailboats and like the warships going at it and like big ass arrows, the huge crossbows. They got cannonballs going off like fiery catapults and shit. And then they just know that they're fucked. They're like,
goddamn, what the hell? Assassin's Creed, man.
Yeah, but they're like, what happened? Like, and then I don't know if you kind of want to break it down, but you know, they're like flying, they're getting impaled by spears and stuff like that, arrows.
Okay, let's talk about the funniest
part. The Weber guys shooting out the fucking window.
Yeah, no, so they're getting hit, and you're waiting for this plane to go down, like literally get hit by a catapult, and it never does. Yeah. And then the thing's smoking. They're finding these big ass planes close as hell to the ground, and they're all like, imagine it's 2,000 years in the past, and they're seeing all this shit come down. Like they're seeing these big ass planes that they're calling dragons, which is hilarious. And then the two idiots. The big dude and the redneck dude.
Big dude's dead.
Oh, big dude's dead. So it's just him and whoever the henchmen.
It's just a bunch of henchmen. Yeah.
And they're getting shot by arrows and shit. They open up the plane doors and just start shooting fucking pistols down at the guys with shields and swords and stuff. And I was busting out laughing when I saw that, dude. That was the funniest part of the movie.
That was funny.
And then, because I mean, I feel like they didn't put enough emphasis on the people down low, besides like them looking up like dragons and stuff, and they're literally getting shot down on the beach, and they don't even know what it is.
Yeah, because I was laughing because I was doing the same thing. I was putting myself in their shoes, and I'm like, what the fuck must they be thinking? Like, looking up at that,
they're absolutely oblivious to what's going on. But I think it would have been cool. Like we see it go down. They're shooting the planes down and stuff. Then who is it? What's his name? It wasn't Dionysius. It was
Euripides or something like that.
Archimedes.
The creator of the dial.
Archimedes.
Archimedes.
Yeah.
And
The creator of
you
the
see
dial.
him, and he's building the dial that this entire movie is based on at that time. And we learn to realize that the one that he's building was it was like tweaked to where whoever were to use it for the first time would go back to that exact moment. So
To
who
help
knows
them.
if that's the first time he's
Yeah.
meeting someone, or that's like there just happened to be one of however many to come back in that exact time.
Yeah, so
And-
I think it's a loop because when they see him dead at his coffin, they see the watch.
The watch. That's
Yeah.
They picks up,
yeah.
and there's the propellers on the coffin. So like he sees the plane or the dragon,
Yeah.
right? So I think that loop was meant to happen, and that's why in the movie before they time travel, they see that stuff because that's how it was.
But
I
that
really
loop
did
also
think-
wouldn't be. Why would a warplane keep going through there?
I don't know. I just think it's a
Like, I
loop
feel like
of
there
what's
could be
supposed to happen.
Yeah, but I feel like there could be so many different scenarios. Like someone just found it, like someone like Indiana Jones, and just went back in time.
Well, it's the same thing. So, like, if Indiana Jones stayed back there, right, would all the movies he did not matter?
Mhm.
Would he have not existed in that time, or would he have existed but just in a loop? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know technically how that
yeah.
works.
I kind of wish they
But-
would have elaborated more on it.
Yeah, we don't know how because time travel works different in every movie, right? There's
Yeah.
like the Back to the Future logic. There's like the Avengers logic. There's different times of time travel. Hot Tub Time Machine. But yeah,
I knew you were
thought
going to
for
sneak
sure.
that in.
I thought for sure Indiana Jones was going to stay in the past. I really did.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
maybe he'd end up in the history books.
And then it just all of a sudden, I'm
No,
sorry,
no, no.
I'm sorry, I have to do this, and then she
No,
punches
so I
him.
did like that.
That's like
So I thought that
No.
was sweet. No, I think that that's the only way they could have gotten out of that scenario or that situation. And because everything always happens like that. He's always just hitting people nonstop. And I just think it was hilarious, though, that he literally got shot in the arm, the shoulder, and he's like, literally fucking freaking out. He's like, I gotta stay here. Like, dude, you're completely fine. Like, you can get fucking on that plane.
Yeah, he's
especially when he
crying.
stands. But especially when he stands still and he like comes to like his senses and he's like, and then like he still wants to stay. And I don't know. I just think that's funny.
I think for him that would have been probably one of the best
A good send off.
send-offs he could have had.
Yeah.
Like he's studied that for his whole life pretty much, and imagine him being able to like mesh minds with Archimedes and do things of that sort, and it'd be like his last adventure almost.
Yeah, but then the
Yeah.
entire world would be nothing like it is now.
You don't know that.
I mean, I'm assuming.
He could live a fucking life of seldom, just fucking.
There's no life
He-
to seldom. Everyone's gonna die there if he.
I know,
does
but I'm
stay.
saying he'll probably die in a couple years anyway. He'll probably just
Yeah.
chill and
I don't even know if he'd make it that long with the wound, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's like they're saying,
Well, no. She also mentioned the plague and diseases.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the lifespan of a human was maybe 40 years, like 45.
Yeah,
He
was
would have
way
died
older
really
than anyone
quickly.
there.
He would have died really
Yeah.
quickly.
Fuck yeah.
oh yeah, and that's
No,
with
I-
that gun injury.
I also wish that one of the is it the Roman Empire? What did you say it was like
It's the,
212?
Yeah.
it's the Roman Empire.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then you see imagine one of them like finding a gun. Like I feel like they should have showed that one of the fucking soldiers
Yeah,
just
'cause they'd
having
be
a big
somewhere.
ass. Yeah, I mean they stayed there for sure.
Yeah,
So I
They
feel like
landed on the beach.
I feel like a better thing that they could have done with this, like especially them going from the future, 2,000 years in the future, going back to the past. I feel like all you see realistically is Dionysius's cave or his tomb and like just the writing and shit. I feel like they should have done something to where it altered the universe and it like built what they have now, like the planes. Like, oh, he wrote that down and he like made a sketch of a plane or the
Yeah.
watch, like the clock, and then
Well,
it
no.
like kind of advanced civilization from that point.
1,000,000%. But you know what they should have done is they should have gone the future. They should have found a
That
way to
would've been
do
cool.
that.
that's why I
and
thought
would've-
that might happen.
to
thought that
present
might
day. That would if they
Yeah.
would have found a way to kind of push that storyline. That would have been awesome and sick as hell.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the ending. Marion comes back. They go get ice cream.
Yep.
She kisses his wounds, or he kisses
No,
her
he-
wounds.
He kisses,
He kisses
her elbow.
hers.
He kisses her shoulder, and then he kisses
Yeah,
her
which
lips.
that was in the
Her
first
fat,
movie.
juicy lips.
That was a callback,
Yeah.
which was cute. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it was good.
what did you guys think of that ending? I mean, he grabs the hat at the end. What do you guys think of that stuff?
So yeah,
Hey, you know damn well he was fucking after that.
Oh,
The end credit scene, he's got the hat over his.
No, he has the hat on.
Sidestep.
I know he's running out. She's naked on the bed. He's running out the room with the hat over his face.
Hey, we see him at the beginning of the movie, and he's like a grumpy old man. He goes and knocks on the door or whatever with the bat.
That shit was funny.
But when he's shirtless, I'm like, damn, for an 80-year-old guy, he looked pretty good. He looked great, like in great shape. So I want to say
Which
that.
is insane.
Yeah.
Who knows if that was CGI'd?
Fuck,
I'm looking down at me. I'm like, damn, I'm 23. This dude's 80. Looks better. Like, it's crazy.
You gotta step your game up, Josh.
I know. I gotta get to the gym. He inspired me. But yeah, I don't know. I think I like the ending. You don't think he goes to the gym?
He's putting in that
He
work
does some
and
cardio or
Marion.
something.
No, he's doing something, but
He had some muscle,
He's
too.
doing
Maybe
cardio.
fishing or
Right?
some
You know
shit.
he's doing some cardio.
Yeah, he's doing some cardio. He was skinny.
yeah.
Not too skinny, but I mean, I feel like when I'm 80, I'm gonna look fucking fat and gross, and I don't know if I even make it that long.
Facts.
I mean, we can definitely close it out. I mean, like you said, we see him. We get the circle close out like we did in Mandalorian and all the other a lot of older movies. I don't know if any
all
other
all the other Disney movies.
Yeah, but I don't think that none of the other Indiana Jones movies end like that, do they?
I don't
They don't
think
do that
so.
circle close.
Maybe the trilogy did.
I don't know.
remember.
I haven't.
I just watched them too.
Yeah, I mean, you turn it off right before you end it.
That's
But,
Yeah.
all, folks. That's all,
Yeah,
folks.
I mean, it's
So they
literally
always
that
roll
Looney Tunes
credits
shit.
for a while, so I know Temple of
Yeah.
Doom didn't and Crusade didn't. So I don't
Oh.
remember. I don't remember if Raiders did or not.
No, I don't know off the top of my head. But we see that Indiana Jones lives. Him and his wife are back.
Together.
And then, I mean, his son's still dead. Which, that doesn't, I was waiting for them, when we
time
see
to
the
change
kid,
that.
Yeah, we see the kid come up the stairs and, the mom getting the groceries and all that. You think that Shia LaBeouf is going to make a cameo. And I was banking on that the entire time. Especially when they first mentioned him, I'm like, damn, we got to get something. And then,
My
the
boy's
groceries
canceled.
go in and they go up. I don't think he's
Blacklisted.
canceled.
He's blacklisted.
I don't think he's blacklisted either.
Yeah, I don't get that either. I don't think he's fine. I don't think he's at anything inherently wrong.
No. He just derailed for a little bit. But I was hoping for a Shia LaBeouf cameo. We didn't get that. I was upset. But no, I just think it was a good ending. But you get that part of them in 2,000 years in the past. And then you get that ending where it's not even it's just I don't know. It's very mellow. There's no crazy thing going on. It's just kind of all right, well, that's it. Get up, go home. It's nothing leaving you oh my God, talking about it for days. And I feel like that's something that obviously brings people in and keeps people wanting more. And they don't do any of that. No one's going to watch this movie and be like, damn, we really need to know what happens after this. We got to get another story. We got to get another Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well, that's it. I think it's just a happy ending.
Yeah. Do you guys want to get into scores?
Mm-hmm.
I can go first. I mentioned earlier what I would have cut. I do think the movie's a little too long. There are some points where it's kind of losing me a little bit, but there's also scenes where I really liked it a lot. Obviously, it reminded me, the beginning especially reminded me a lot of the original trilogy, which I really enjoyed. I think those three movies are great. I'm going to go with a 77 because I didn't think it was bad. I can see myself rewatching it years from now when I go through and rewatch them all. I'll definitely watch it again. But I wouldn't, run to the theater to go see it again, I guess. But I would definitely, if you've seen the Indiana Jones movies, my dad's seen the other four, I would recommend him to go see it because I don't think it's bad. I don't think it ruins anything Harrison Ford did in the past with the other Indiana Jones movies or anything like that. I don't think some people are hating on it. I don't think it deserves that much hate. I think it's just it's an okay movie. It's a good movie. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. So I'm going to go, 77. I still enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can go.
Go, Mike.
I'm gonna give it a 59 out of 100.
Wow.
Like I said,
It
typical
wasn't that bad.
typical Disney blueprint.
This dude, Mike, ain't got. Let me fucking say it. He's like this.
Literally, bro. Hey, that should tell you.
This motherfucker Mike's next to me. And he just keeps turning, tossing and turning. He's got his fucking leg up. I'm like,
Literally,
what
bro.
the fuck are you
I was
doing,
resident
man?
sleeper, dude. Like
Yeah, but you're putting my ass to sleep. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I have my head
why are
back
you
on.
looking at my ass,
Fuck.
bro? You should be looking at the screen, buddy.
No, you're fucking tossing and turning, knocking my damn pop. What the fuck you doing, man?
Like I said, man, it's a typical Disney blueprint. I think, man. I think it definitely was a little bit of nostalgia based too. It was cool seeing Harrison Ford back, and all the little other callbacks, but nothing about this movie wows me. I don't think that like it's the worst movie I've seen of all time. Like it's definitely within the genre of like, hey, this isn't bad. But I think they definitely fumbled the bag with the concept. I think the concept was awesome. It's just they didn't execute it to the way it should have been. And yeah, man, it's just like I said, dude, typical Disney blueprint, which I'm kind of getting sick of.
Yeah. Well, I can go. I can close this out.
Okay.
I feel confident being a huge Indiana Jones fan too. I feel confident giving this a. I'm gonna go 70 flat. I think that's a good score. I don't think we're sitting here dogging on this movie, but it honestly was good. Like you said, I mean, it's anytime you see Indiana Jones and you see Harrison Ford and just like this style of movie, it's always good. Like I said, It didn't seem as much as an Indiana Jones movie than the other four. But I mean, it's still Harrison Ford playing Indiana Jones, and he's still doing the same shit despite Disney taking it over. That's my only pet peeve with this. I think the story was okay. A lot of, like I said, they fucking put a bunch of random character traits in a hat and pulled them and said, all right, redneck, big Russian, and then fucking like random CIA agents and shit like that. And I don't know. It just felt out of place. I absolutely love the opening scene of the train, like the DH. I didn't think the DH was that bad. But I love the Roman scene, the Roman Empire scene. And I wish we would have got more time in that. We got more time in the tuk-tuk chases and the boat scene than we did in, 2,000 years in the past. And I did like the tie-in, though. I like how, Archimedes, however the hell you pronounce it, he made that dial, but he was smart enough to rig it to where it would, how he wanted it to, kind of
come back to them and help them win the war and stuff.
And I thought that was pretty cool. I liked how Helena knocked Indy out in order to like save his own life, and but then like the ending after that, like him meeting up with his ex-wife, and stuff like that. I feel like it was just non-climactic, like anticlimactic. And
Here we go, buddy.
I wasn't a big fan of it. I think that it was just super boring ending, and I mean, I don't know. I feel like they could have done, knowing that this is the last Indiana Jones movie, I feel like they could have done it a lot differently.
Is this confirmed, the last Indiana Jones movie?
I mean, Harrison Ford's no way he's gonna film another one, so it's gotta be.
Hey, what if they like just magically like just pop out another kid, and he just like takes the helmet and it's another trilogy, and it's the fucking multiverse. The multiverse of Indiana Jones.
I don't want that shit. I was a huge fan of Crystal Skull, and I thought that they did an absolutely great job setting Shia LaBeouf up for Indiana Jones. Like him to take the mantle and go off of there. I feel like it would have been super successful too, because those Transformer movies are very successful, and people would still go see the movie for Shia LaBeouf.
Dude, he's the Indiana Jones, bro. Like, you can't ever since he made out with Megan Fox. There is nothing that man cannot do in this world.
You gotta watch Disturbia, man.
Yeah, it's a good ass movie. I gotta watch that.
Eagle Eye, that was all that good shit.
That was our Indiana Jones style Destiny review. We'll be back on Tuesday with Roadhouse, which is Aiden's pick. Also good reviews, so go listen to that.
Oh yeah,
check that out on Tuesday.
Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah. Thank you, boys, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
See you.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Peace out.